Yeah, next one.
New York City, a beacon of opportunity, a place where dreams are made and ambitions are realized, a global center of commerce and culture bustling with life and energy, yet beneath the dazzling skyline a crisis festers, hidden in plain sight. Homelessness, a stark reality for over 350,000 individuals, casts a long shadow over the city's vibrant facade, challenging its image of prosperity. Once a rare sight, homeless encampments have become a common sight, a testament to the growing crisis. Tents line the streets, a stark reminder of the city's failure to protect its most vulnerable, a failure that is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. From Central Park to Times Square, homelessness has infiltrated every corner of New York, leaving no area untouched. The plight of those forced to call the streets their home is impossible to ignore, a daily reminder of the city's ongoing struggle. The statistics paint a grim picture, revealing the depth and breadth of the issue. Over 132,000 people sleep in shelters each night, seeking refuge from the harsh realities of life on the streets, hoping for a better tomorrow. Thousands more find solace in the city's vast subway system, a temporary escape from the elements. The homeless population includes families with children, veterans, and individuals struggling with mental health issues or addiction, each with their own story of hardship. Understanding its root causes is the first step towards creating a more just and equitable city for all. A city where everyone has a place to call home. Homelessness in New York City is not a new phenomenon. It is a problem that has plagued the city for decades, its roots running deep in the fabric of society. In the 1980s, a perfect storm of factors converged, exacerbating the crisis. Deinstitutionalization of mental health facilities released thousands onto the streets, ill-equipped to navigate life without support. The crack cocaine epidemic ravaged communities. Affordable housing dwindled as gentrification took hold. The crisis reached a tipping point in the 1990s. The number of homeless individuals soared. Public outcry grew louder. While these efforts provided temporary relief, they failed to address the underlying systemic issues. Fast forward to the present day, and the crisis has reached unprecedented levels. The COVID-19 pandemic, with its devastating economic impact, pushed many already teetering on the edge into homelessness. The lessons learned from past failures must inform future solutions. At the heart of New York City's homelessness crisis lies a harsh economic reality. The struggle to find affordable housing is a daily battle for many residents. The city's affordability crisis has reached a fever pitch, affecting not just the homeless, but also those on the brink. Soaring rents and stagnant wages have made it nearly impossible for low and middle-income earners to keep a roof over their heads. The dream of stable housing is slipping away. The gap between what people earn and what it costs to live in New York has become an insurmountable chasm for many. Evictions are becoming all too common. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan now exceeds $4,000 per month, a staggering figure. With over 40% of New Yorkers spending more than half their income on rent, it is no surprise that many are just one paycheck away from eviction. Financial insecurity is rampant. The scarcity of affordable housing further compounds the problem, leaving many with no options. For every 100 low-income households, there are only 36 units of affordable housing available. The numbers simply don't add up. Addressing the housing crisis is paramount to tackling homelessness in New York City. Policy changes are urgently needed. Increasing the supply of affordable housing, implementing stricter rent regulations, and providing rental assistance to those in need are crucial steps towards a more equitable and just city. Only through collective effort can we hope to solve this crisis. While homelessness affects all 5 boroughs of New York City, certain areas have become grim epicenters of the crisis. Manhattan, the city's beating heart, bears a disproportionate burden. The area around West 39th Street, once a bustling commercial hub, has transformed into a sprawling homeless encampment. The sidewalks are littered with tents, makeshift shelters, and the discarded belongings of those with nowhere else to go. The police, often the first point of contact for those experiencing homelessness, are ill-equipped to handle the complex needs of this vulnerable population. The lack of adequate mental health services, addiction treatment centers, and affordable housing options leaves law enforcement with limited options. The crisis is not confined to Manhattan. providing resources and support where they are most needed is essential to alleviating the crisis and ensuring the safety and well-being of all New Yorkers. Faces of the crisis, personal stories of struggle and survival. Behind the statistics and policy debates lie the human faces of New York City's homelessness crisis. These faces tell stories that numbers alone cannot convey. Each individual living on the streets has a story to tell, a story of hardship, resilience, and often, systemic failure. These narratives are a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Lydia, a sprightly 78-year-old, has called the streets her home for over 4 decades. Her journey is one of enduring strength and unyielding hope. Evicted from her rent-controlled apartment after a lifetime of hard work, she found herself trapped in a cycle of homelessness with no escape. Her story is a stark reminder of the fragility of stability. Lisa, a teenager with a bright smile and a heart full of dreams, became homeless after aging out of the foster care system. Her dreams now seem distant, but her spirit remains unbroken. With no family to turn to and nowhere to call home, she navigates the city's unforgiving streets, clinging to hope for a brighter future. Her resilience is a beacon of hope. Richard, a former construction worker, lost his home and his livelihood after a debilitating injury left him unable to work. His story highlights the precariousness of life and the thin line between stability and homelessness. These are just a few of the countless personal stories that illustrate the human toll of homelessness in New York City. Each story is a call to action, urging us to look beyond the surface. By sharing these stories, we hope to foster empathy and understanding. Through empathy, we can begin to address the root causes and work towards meaningful solutions. A city divided, the impact of migrant influxes on homelessness. In recent years, New York City has experienced a significant influx of migrants and asylum seekers, many fleeing violence and persecution in their home countries. While the city has a long and proud history of welcoming immigrants, the sheer number of new arrivals has strained resources and exacerbated the existing homelessness crisis. Over 175,000 migrants have arrived in New York City in the past 2 years alone. The city has stepped up to provide shelter, food, and other essential services, spending over $2 billion on aid. However, the existing shelter system, already operating at capacity, has been overwhelmed. Many migrants, unable to secure a bed in a shelter, have been forced to resort to sleeping on the streets. Providing adequate resources and support to both new arrivals and longtime residents is essential to ensuring that New York City remains a welcoming and inclusive place for all. The vanishing middle, erosion of stability, and the rise of despair. The homelessness crisis in New York City is not just a problem of poverty, it is increasingly a problem of the shrinking middle class. As the cost of living continues to outpace wage growth, more and more working families find themselves struggling to make ends meet. In New York City, a family needs to earn between $8,000 and $10,000 per month to afford basic necessities, such as housing, food, transportation, and childcare. This is simply unattainable for many working families, even those with 2 incomes. The decline of the middle class in New York City has been more pronounced than the national average, with a staggering 11% decline over the past 2 decades. When hard-working individuals and families are struggling to keep their heads above water, it undermines the very fabric of society. Addressing the root causes of middle-class decline is crucial to preventing further homelessness. A call for action. Addressing the root causes of homelessness. The homelessness crisis in New York City is a complex and multifaceted problem that demands a comprehensive and compassionate response. Addressing the root causes of homelessness is crucial to finding lasting solutions. This requires a multi-pronged approach that tackles the issue from all angles. Firstly, expanding the supply of affordable housing is paramount. The city must invest in building more low-income housing units and implement stricter rent regulations to prevent further displacement. Providing rental assistance to those at risk of eviction can also help to keep families in their homes. Secondly, addressing the mental health and addiction crisis is essential. Many individuals experiencing homelessness struggle with mental health issues or substance abuse disorders. Expanding access to mental health services, addiction treatment centers, and supportive housing can help to break the cycle of homelessness for this vulnerable population. Creating more economic opportunities for low-income New Yorkers is crucial. a shared responsibility, building a more equitable New York. The homelessness crisis in New York City is a moral imperative that demands our attention and action. It is a stain on the conscience of a city that prides itself on its diversity and compassion. We cannot continue to turn a blind eye to the suffering on our streets. Building a more equitable New York requires a fundamental shift in perspective. We must move beyond seeing homelessness as an individual failing and recognize it as a systemic problem that requires systemic solutions. We must invest in our communities, support our most vulnerable residents, and hold our elected officials accountable for creating a city that works for everyone. Let us work together to build a city that truly lives up to its promise as a beacon of hope and opportunity for all.